So I've got a little bit of a layover in Edinburgh today, just filmed the OM1 II video. I thought it'd be a great opportunity to go out and do a little bit of travel photography, and I'm going to switch over to the Insta360 for the main shot. One of my favourite pastimes is to just go out and take photos, and this is the perfect opportunity to do it. I spotted this guy just sitting on the bench smoking on a pipe, and I took a photo of him, and it's just nice lighting, it looks really good, and we go on further in and around Edinburgh. I've been to this city multiple times throughout my life, once for the Fringe Festival and then once just travelling on holiday with a couple friends, and it's a city that has a lot of character to it. Of course, it's the capital to Scotland, and it's just the perfect city to go around and just experience. We've got a few areas which we'll try and hit on this journey and take some photos of some pretty cool architecture and people in and about the area. First location I think I'm going to go to is the Royal Mile. Now this is the road that leads all the way up to the castle, and it has a number of attractions in and around that area. We're not going to spend too long here because it's a layover, like I said, but one of my favourite things on the Royal Mile is something called a Camera Obscura. It's a place that you can go see some illusions, but also see something which is called a Camera Obscura. The Camera Obscura is a method of projecting light onto a wall or a surface using a small pinhole or a lens, and it's really quite fascinating to see kind of the origins of photography. Heading over North Bridge, I spot a guy on the side of a building cleaning some windows, and opportunities when they arise. So with the 7200 macro, I shoot both portrait and landscape to be able to make sure I have as much photos I can use and edit as possible, and this is the photo I ultimately picked. Opting for a more central composition to the photo, I think it works quite well. I love when a building just stands out amongst the rest, where it looks like it's withstood being taken over and built on top of, or is just solitary by itself, and especially inside of a city. This is the In the Mile Inn, and it's just a beautiful building itself. I switch over to 1635 for this and make sure I take both photos at 16 and 35. There is a little bit of editing to do with this to make sure the lines straighten up, and different styles I'll go for when it comes to this photo. One of them is going to be a slower shutter speed, and then the other is going to be a faster shutter speed to get multiple styles of a very similar shot. These are the ones I picked. The one on the left is just a straightforward photo of the building, and then the one on the right is the one that I used with the slower shutter speed. It just gives an extra compositional element to the foreground, and I think it works quite well. As I was heading across North Bridge, I saw an arcade, and I thought it would be quite cool to go there, because of course I live in the city of arcades. It's nice to check them out. What I didn't know is this is actually going to lead to my next destination. Like I said, I've been here a couple times, not enough to really know the inside and outside of the city, just a couple spots that I wanted to hit. Anyway, so inside the arcade, I found something pretty cool, and I think the photo for it came out pretty cool as well. So as we went through the arcade, we looked up and then we saw this lovely structure in the ceiling. I really quite like this photo. This is how it ended up turning out, making sure that everything is symmetrical in the centre, or just well laid out effectively. Comparing Edinburgh to Cardiff when it comes to its layout is cats and dogs. Edinburgh's layout is very hilly. It's got a lot of low areas, a lot of high areas, and a lot of really interesting structures and streets. This is one of my favourites there is. It was actually appeared in Avengers Endgame as well. Here's a screenshot. But what I want to do is just take a picture of this building right here. So what I'm going to do is head straight to the road and get a shot nice low down, and hopefully get some people in the photo. Maybe yes, maybe not. We shall see. Of course, while you're on holiday, one of the most important things to remember is the good old souvenir shop. So I saw the souvenir shop, so I thought I might as well pop in, have a look at the magnets. Don't think I'm going for a magnet. What I ended up coming out with is a notepad, always love a notepad, a pen, and then I also got my missus a lovely little snow globe, which I think she was happy with. So I was lucky enough to receive a bag from Wondered for this trip, and it's been pretty invaluable. But the biggest thing I need is actually being able to swap out my lenses really easily. So this is the bag from Wondered. It's fit like 1635 with 7200, 2470, 2 cameras, and this one. My laptop, my mics, everything I need to really create on the go. Really great, wondrous thing. The other thing to bear in mind when it comes to this bag, you've actually got this attachment here. This is my Peak Design clip. I never have a bag that I don't put this on. And it's crazy useful for pretty much everything. There seems to be a lot of construction going on in Edinburgh at the moment, and these guys particularly stood out to me. Got some crazy colours on, so you got the orange of their jackets, and you got the yellow of the actual scaffolding itself. And what I wanted to do here is just get multiple angles of these guys, because you know, I think they had some good facial expressions. They were like laughing with each other, having some fun, but also, you know, working and, you know, doing stuff that street photographers might find interesting. And, you know, trying out multiple angles, doing some framing with some stuff. So I've recently changed out the lenses that I primarily use on these videos. Before it was primes, but now what I've done is gone for a 16-35, a 24-70 and a 70-200. The 16-35 and the 24-70 are f2.8 variants, and the 70-200 of course f4. The reason why I chose the f4 was because of the macro capabilities of this lens, and if you want to find out more about it, then click up on this link. It goes to a video I made about the lens a little while back, but for me it's been performing excellent for doing b-roll, for taking photos. Beautiful lens, and it's a little bit of a unholy trinity. Holy trinity, unholy trinity. I don't know, what do you reckon we should call it? I'll think on it. Let me know your suggestions down below. As we were continuing walking, I ended up coming across another scaffolding area, but managed to get some really quite interesting shots. Why don't people just stand in the centre? And I also ended up screwing up this shot as well. Not everything works out, but, you know, more practice makes perfect. Coming back and around the Scott Monument, what I wanted to do is take some photos of the buildings opposite, because they all look very pretty. This building here is a hotel, I believe, and what I wanted to do is just shoot it amongst the trees, make sure I get a landscape and portrait of this, making the subject the centre of the frame. When it comes to shooting architecture, when you're shooting the building itself, you can't necessarily do much when it comes to the rule of thirds unless there is a unique subject there. There is another building also. This is going to have to be a very hard and cropped photo. It's got a nice red kind of rim to a lot of the windows, and again just shooting with the 70-200 here to make sure I just capture it across the road. Both of the photos you've already seen by now, but it's, again, I do love Edinburgh. It's such a pretty city, and it feels like it has such a lot of history to it, more so than a lot of cities. All the photos in this video have been shot on the A7C II Sony. It's a camera that I've been enjoying for a little while now, and it does pretty much everything I need it to. And when I got to this building, I was like, do you know what, those structures, love it. I love the lines, I love what I can do with this. I can use the lines to do some composition stuff, rule of thirds. You know, there also was a chain out front, which I wanted to be in the center of one of my photos that I took here. So just making sure I position everything correctly. The other side of it, there's a big footfall of traffic here. So what I want to do is try and get some portraits, but maybe some just like well-composed elements in the background structure to kind of give a really unique and interesting composition. Really unique and special composition to the photos I was taking here. I don't know, what do you think about what I've done? I quite like the photos, yeah. As you can see, I managed to achieve what I was aiming for out of these photos. The first one, the padlock center, matching up with the center column in the background. What I thought was quite great about this image is the person's head really far in the distance. Again, kind of made me laugh to a certain extent. The next photo, what we have is a guy with a red beanie on, and what I wanted to do and make sure here is that he was directly in the center between two columns. Again, composition elements here worked out quite well. Last but not least, we had this photo, and I just snapped it off somebody passing by. Looks like he's enjoying himself. Beautiful human beings, that's what I like about street photography. Please let me know if you actually have enjoyed this video. It's a new concept that I'm looking to play with, releasing one of these videos every now and then where we just go and explore, take some photos. Here I noticed an interesting little composition. There was a guy just peeking around the corner of these pillars, and what I got was some great photos. Here you go. I think these photos work really well as a set. What do you think? This video was a little bit more of a test video to see if you guys could enjoy this kind of, walk around, take some photos, just have a general experience, talk about certain things, technology, bags, accessories, maybe even just a little bit of my process when it comes to this kind of stuff. Just let me know if you are interested in this. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, follow and subscribe if you want to see more. Have a good day.